What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and I've got a pretty exciting video for you guys today. I'm going to be going through my entire Blu-Ray Steelbook collection. Now, I've done an entire Blu-ray collection on the channel before, but I never really had a chance to showcase my Steelbooks in depth, and I only own about 20, 25 maybe. I'm not a huge Steelbook collector, but I do enjoy picking them up every now and then, and if there's a new release that comes out, I'll usually go on the Best Buy app and I'll look at the slipcover and the Steelbook, I'll compare, and based on how much money I'm willing to spend, I'll pick up the Steelbook or not. So you'll see a fair amount of new releases in here. There's some older movies, but for the most part, I pick up movies that I really enjoy on Steelbook and that have a cool design. There might be a few outliers, but I'm excited to make this video. It shouldn't be too long, so be sure to stick around. And if you like my Blu-ray videos, I would encourage you to check out our movie reviews and rankings, and just consider subscribing because it would mean a lot to us. I run this channel with my friend Andy, who's not here right now, but I do a lot of solo Blu-ray videos, and I'm doing a 100 movies I missed project, so if you'd be interested in any of that, just be sure to consider subscribing and definitely hit the like button and comment your favorite Steelbooks of mine. So without further ado, I'll get right into it. So the first Steelbook that I have is Avengers Endgame on 4K. I had to pick this one up just because it is my favorite MCU movie, and I actually double dipped. I also got the slipcover so that it would match the majority of my MCU movies, and I'm just a hardcore fan when it comes to the MCU, but I love this Steelbook. I love how on the front you've got the heroes that didn't get snapped away, and on the back you got the guys who were. So it's just really cool design, and on the inside it has Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr., their picture with their signature, so there was a lot of detail put into this one, so I really enjoy it. The next one that I have is of a live-action Disney remake, and that is Beauty and the Beast. I really enjoyed this movie. I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and I don't really get sick of it. It made a few changes from the original animated one, and I didn't have a problem with it. I liked the Beast, I liked his song even, and the music in this one is great, so I do revisit this one every now and then, and it's probably one of my favorite live-action remakes. The next one that I've got is a comedy that I need to rewatch soon, and that is The Big Lebowski. I remember this movie being absolutely hilarious, especially John Goodman. He had a ton of one-liners and just really funny moments in the movie, and his chemistry with the dude was just great. I loved seeing them together on screen, and the Coen brothers actually directed a really funny comedy with this one, so I'm going to revisit this soon. I plan to, at least. Next up, we've got another MCU movie, and that is Black Panther. Now, I do think this movie is overrated. I don't think it deserved a Best Picture nomination, but it has its moments. I do enjoy it. It's not even in my top 10 for the MCU, probably, but I still enjoyed the movie, like I said. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa is just great, and Killmonger is a solid villain. I do think the hype train for him is a little too high. He's probably not even in my top 5 MCU villains, if I'm being honest, but I do enjoy this movie. Probably will rewatch it soon. The next one I actually showcased in a recent Blu-ray haul, and that is Ford v Ferrari. This is a gorgeous Steelbook, how it looks like a painting, and on the back I like the design, but I rewatched this on 4K recently, and it looks stunning. This is easily one of my favorite movies from last year. It made my top 10. It probably would be higher on my top 10 than it was originally, and I just love it. A lot of fun, and I think I said this in my Letterboxd review, but this is going to be the definitive dad movie of the decade, and I know a lot of people are saying that, but I definitely think it will be. Next up is definitely my favorite Christmas movie. I watch it once, if not twice a year, even when it's not Christmas time. Home Alone, a classic. I've seen this movie probably 50 plus times. It is just such a fun time, and I really love Macaulay Culkin in this movie and in the second one. It's probably one of my favorite child performances, if I'm being honest. And the Wet Bandits, then the Sticky Bandits in the second one, I love them. Joe Pesci, he's great. Seeing him hold in the cuss words is funny. But easily my favorite Christmas movie, and I love this movie. There's not much else to say. The next one I've got is one of Nolan's best, Christopher Nolan that is, and that is Inception. Mind-blowing film, visually stunning. I think Leo was great in this movie. I wish he would have gotten an Oscar nom, but I know that was a competitive year, and this is in 2010, one of the most controversial years for the Oscars, with The King's Speech winning the Best Picture award over this movie, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, and many more that were more deserving in my opinion. But this is a top 3 Nolan film for sure. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's very close, and I will rewatch this before Tenet comes out later this year. Next up, we've got an 80s classic, and that is The Karate Kid. I think this was the first Steelbook that I ever picked up, actually. I love the artwork, how it has all the Cobra Kai members on the front, and the back has their logo. And the silver is really nice too, but yeah, this is just a classic. Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san, I love their chemistry. Johnny, he's just a classic 80s villain, and this is a fun one to rewatch every now and then, and probably one of my favorite Steelbooks that I own. But the favorite Steelbook that I own, as of now, my favorite Steelbook is for La La Land. A musical masterpiece, my second favorite Damien Chazelle movie, but it's extremely close, and probably one of my top 25 favorite movies of all time, if I'm being honest with you. I just rewatched it the other day. I adore this movie. It's just beautiful. It's a beautifully shot movie, and the themes that are in the movie are beautiful, but the Steelbook has these nice blue colors. I'm a big blue fan, and on the white background it looks very clean, and in the back is where it gets me, the keyboard and Here's to the Fools Who Dream. I love that. This is easily one of my favorite Steelbooks. I own Whiplash on Blu-ray, the other Damien Chazelle movie I love, my favorite movie at the moment. I want to pick up the Steelbook with like the drum stick on the spine and the drums on the front, but I may get around to that, I'm not sure, but yeah, I love the Steelbook. Next up, we've got a Disney classic, and that is Mary Poppins. I don't know if you can see it, but there's dents here, and it really bothers me. But I love the simplistic design on this. Just Mary Poppins, the red background, London, and the chimney guys on the front, and the kite on the back. It's a really simple Steelbook, and those are the Steelbooks that I find myself liking the best. But yeah, this is a classic. I think it's slightly better than Mary Poppins Returns, which I do own. I just own that on the regular slipcover, not the Steelbook. So yeah, Mary Poppins. Not much else to say. Okay, yeah, this one was in my recent Blu-ray haul from March, I think. Monsters, Inc. on Steelbook. Like I mentioned, all the new Pixar 4K Steelbooks are beautiful, and this is one of the better ones, the purple, and then them with Boo and the doors. It's a great design. I love how it's indented here, and on the back you have the Scream canisters, but the Pixar Steelbooks are a thing of beauty, and they've been on sale lately, like very cheap at Best Buy, a lot of them, so if you haven't checked that out, I highly recommend it. Next, I have a Christmas favorite of mine, especially during my childhood years, and that is The Polar Express. I think this movie gets unnecessary hate from a lot of people. Tom Hanks plays like 5 characters, I think, in this movie, but I just enjoy it. I like the message it has. It makes me feel at home and really gets me in the Christmas spirit. And I remember drinking hot chocolate in like 5th grade watching this one, so I've always enjoyed it, and I don't know why it gets the hate that it does. That's just my opinion. Next, I have a movie that I was extremely excited to see the sequel before it got delayed, A Quiet Place. I love the indented scratch marks from the monster, and if they hear you, they hunt you in the back. It's a great design. John Krasinski, it's crazy that he went from The Office to directing one of my favorite movies from 2018, I believe, but I can't wait to see A Quiet Place 2. It was one of my most anticipated for the year, and I will be seeing it when it comes out in September and doing a review, but for now I'll just have to rewatch this on Blu-ray. Next, we have my second favorite Pixar movie. It might be my favorite, I go back and forth, Ratatouille. If you want my in-depth thoughts on Ratatouille, you can check out our top 10 Pixar ranking. The link will be up above. But I adore this movie, like I've said multiple times, and the Steelbook's super cool. Just simple, like with the Pixar. I like the red, I like the Ratatouille logo, and then of course you've got the Remy and Linguini, and on the back you have his brother, and it's just a beautiful film, and I highly recommend it. This is the most controversial Steelbook that I own because I don't even really like this movie. I just bought it at the time, and I'll get into it, and that is Star Wars The Last Jedi. It is a beautiful Steelbook. I like the white, and I like how the lightsaber goes here, and then Kylo on the back, so I like the contrast, but the movie as a whole, I saw it twice in theaters, and I was in denial the first time because I wasn't a fan of it. I didn't like the decisions that were made, and I've said why like 100 times on the channel, especially in our Star Wars ranking video, but the Steelbook's beautiful, there's no denying that. I'm not going to sell it. I do rewatch this every now and then, but I just have a lot of issues with it. Next, I've got the Steelbook for my favorite comedy of all time, and that is Superbad. It's just a hilarious movie, especially Seth Rogen and Bill Hader as the cops. They're just idiots, and seeing them interact with McLovin is hilarious, and Michael Cera and Jonah Hill have some great chemistry in this movie, and it's just so funny. I don't know what else to say. I want to watch it again soon. I love the design, but yeah, that's Superbad. Next, we've got another MCU movie, Thor Ragnarok. Just rewatched this one recently, and it's just so much fun. Taika Waititi does a great job directing it, and he's great as Korg in the movie too. But I've talked about this. We did an MCU Phase 1, 2, and 3 video like a few months back, so you can check that out on the channel. But one of my favorite Steelbooks, I love the color red, go dogs, but I love the red design, and then the background with his helmet is cool. And inside, I believe, is when he fights Hulk, so yeah. I only have a few left here, but the next one is probably my favorite of the Pixar Steelbooks I own, and that is Up. Just a beautiful light blue in the sky, and then the balloons. It's a perfect Steelbook, but this is a beautiful movie. It gets some flack for apparently losing steam after the first 10 minutes, but I completely disagree, because I think this movie is perfect, extremely close to it at least. But I think it's a great movie. It's got the adventure at the end. It breaks your heart in the first 10 minutes, and there's great payoff in the end. So I don't know why people hate on it, but the back is cool too with the grape soda pin from Ellie. All around, just a masterpiece almost by Pixar. Next, we have Jordan Peele's Us. The black design with the gold is super awesome, but this is my second favorite Peele movie because it's really going to be hard for him to make a movie that's better than Get Out. But that being said, it was still one of the better movies from last year. Just a horror thriller. He does those very well, and he's super smart about it. Like, I was thinking about this movie for almost a week after I saw it, so props to Jordan Peele. I can't wait to see what he does next. And the last Steelbook that I own is for a Disney animated film, one of my favorites, Wreck-It Ralph. This is one of the cooler Steelbooks I own. It's probably in my top 5 as far as design goes. You've got Wreck-It Ralph's face on the front and the arcade design on the back. It's like the back of an arcade machine. But this is just a lot of fun and a super original idea that was well done by Disney. I wish that we would get more movies like this from them, because there's some twists and turns in this movie I did not see coming, and the adventure, it's a lot of fun, especially with Vanellope and Ralph, and then you've got like that whole video game that's like a takeoff on Halo / Call of Duty. I liked all those scenes, and this is a lot of fun. I wasn't crazy about the sequel though. I didn't like what they did with that at all, and I've only seen it once in theaters, probably won't rewatch it for a long time, but the original Wreck-It Ralph is top tier Disney animated when it comes to this century, and especially the last decade. Yeah, so those are all the Steelbooks that I own at the moment. I'll probably do another update at the end of the year or early next year with more Steelbooks, and I plan to do a complete Blu-ray collection at some point this year, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and please consider subscribing. It would help us out a lot. We're getting closer to 300 subscribers every day, and we're just having a ton of fun with this, so just getting out content when we can. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying what we're doing. But in the future, you can expect some more throwback movie reviews, maybe a ranking video here and there, but definitely just be on the lookout for more videos. It would mean a lot. And until next time, see you guys later.